Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar. Un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay pues emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Money, money, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work, yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Las cosas como son, no quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción, yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves, sabes tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés, ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré, no vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work, yeah. El mundo quiere dinero, yeah, yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero, yeah. Money work. De corazón, la plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, yeah, de corazón, yeah. Plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Money work. Money work. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work.
Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. Started.
And the pot calls the kettle black, calls the kettle burnt, calls her mad. Kettle reminds the pot that we've both been burned on the same stove, that the parts of our bodies that are layered in soot were scorched by the same hands. Kettle tells pot that she still boils water, holds the hot breath of a white man's tongue, endures the slow simmer of a white woman's allyship, and still we make something beautiful. Pot calls the kettle wicked, and kettle says no, but says she's so magical she burned the hand of the last man who tried to pour himself a piece of her. Says she's so black she is everything, so black she is the beginning. She is the first thing someone finds home in when they wake up in the morning. Says ain't that what it means to be black? To have the world go up in flames around you and still be sanctuary for someone, saving men who lost themselves the night before, saving men who curse our names but forget his mama is made of steel too. And now the pot has no words but calls the kettle bitter, but loves the glass pan, the fine china, loves all the exotic shit white men put behind glass casings, loves how fragile things not made of steel can be. But this isn't about the pot or the pan. This is about the kettle, the black woman, how she pours herself across the earth, but no one bats an eye when the water disappears. We give ourselves to men who never love us, but they say we are difficult, too hard to break. How we, the kettle, praise this pot, this man for all the water he holds. How we are the only ones who do not call him monster when the water boils over, because we know this heat, this white flame, hot enough to make any of us explode. We are the first ones to make noise when the world goes up in flames, but they say the earth was saved by the man who heard her scream. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says yes, but says you best remember you black too. The next time they bring a fire to your neck, they burn black bodies on the stake and the stove. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says bitch I might be, says nuck if you buck, then says wipe me down. Kettle says yes my nigga, I be black, I be mad, and I boil the last man down to his bones when he tried. Yes, but don't say my name as if you ain't ever been burnt too.
Microphone check 1 2. Let me pause it. Microphone check 1 2. If you can hear me out there, put a 1 in the chat. If you're in the chat, if you're in the to another, it's going to be as good as the internet is. To be honest with you, when you're out in the sticks, you may not, internet's unpredictable, but I'm glad those who are here, and I'm going to keep this going. We're going to do a little bit of an intro, let everybody kind of file into the room. It'll take a little while. It might take a little while. It's Saturday night. People are getting ready to go out. So let me get this live show, this live stream going. Welcome, Conscious Mind Love in the house. Conscious Mind Love, good to see you. Here we go.
Daddy. So I got something to tell you. My new boyfriend, Chris, well, him and I is having a baby.
Who?
Chris, you know.
Congratulations, Bridget.
Thank you, Daddy. I told him that you would be
Who is this Chris?
You know, Chris.
I don't know. And how old is this Chris?
He was one of your friends, Daddy.
You pranking me, girl.
That's how I met him.
45-year-old Chris?
Yeah. Light-skinned Chris.
You pranking me.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you pranking me. This can't be real.
Daddy, he been trying to talk to me for a long time.
For a long time.
Daddy. Daddy.
You gotta be out your mind.
No, for real, Daddy.
So
Daddy.
let's play along with
What
this.
you doing?
How far along are you?
Like to the doctor.
Oh, here.
By the way, this is by Jamor Love. This is a very interesting skit. Let's keep listening because this happens all the time. Let's keep going.
He don't go to the doctor with you.
I mean, I ain't even been to the doctor yet, but I don't think
You 8 weeks pregnant, and you ain't been to the doctor?
no.
What does Chris have to say about this?
Oh.
Shouldn't he ask his friend that question himself? That's interesting, isn't it? Let's keep it going. This is a great skit. Here we go.
Because I'm just going along with it. I know you lying. I know you pranking me. So let's feed into it. How much you need? Because that's how I know. You come here. You always come here and try to shake me down. What you need? How much you need, Bridget?
He got me this time. He said whatever I want. with for me.
Through one of his other females, because Chris don't got a job. Chris lives with his mom.
No, he don't.
Sweetheart, I've known
His
this man
mama
for
just-
15 years.
His mama just stayed with him.
Oh my God.
Damn. Here we go.
I can't believe this. So you pregnant?
Yes, Daddy.
Call him up.
We're not, Daddy. You got his number. He with your friend.
Oh, you don't want me to call him?
Call him. He gonna tell you the same thing.
Let's see.
I like the way she said that. He gonna tell you the same thing. Let's keep it going, everybody. Here we go.
Call him. Call
Because
him.
y'all love playing with me.
Call my baby daddy.
Chris, what's up, boy? Now, tell me you and my daughter over here pranking. I'm sorry. Congratulations.
Oh, dude.
Congratulations. Look, how about you come over here? Yeah. No, man. The Falcons playing and they losing, and I'm sitting here. I got distracted. That's the only reason why I yell like that. But
You won't believe how many times it's happened. Some dudes, they will side with their friends before their own blood. That's the interesting thing. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
how about you come on over here and we can talk more about this? You know, I can welcome you into the family formally. You know what I mean? I always wanted a big brother. You know what I mean? And I'm so glad that you got my 15-year-old daughter pregnant. So come on over here, man. We can have us a few drinks. We can talk.
Happens all the time. You heard what I'm said. Let me play that right over again because it's very important you hear that little part.
I always wanted a big brother. You know what I mean? And I'm so glad that you got my 15-year-old daughter pregnant. So come on over here, man. We can have us a few drinks.
It happens all the time. It happens all the time. All the time. Here we go.
We can talk, okay?
Why are you lying to that man like that, Daddy?
Guess who's finna go to jail?
For what?
For statutory rape.
Oh my God. How's it statutory? I said it was okay.
Because we're in Georgia, the legal age for consent is 17.
Oh my God. I'm pretty sure you're wrong about that, Dad.
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
See, no. Mm-mm. So what you're not finna do is do that to my baby daddy.
Let me tell you why I'm not as upset. Because I'm starting to see you're not right up in the head. But I love you. It's not your fault.
You would think, okay, we know it's a skip, but you would think that he would have figured that out a long time ago and probably protected, his daughter a little bit better than this if this was not a skip. Here we go.
It's your mama's fault. And that's why you gotta be careful who you have babies by.
He a grown man, Daddy.
I know, because your mama first baby daddy in a walker now. He's in the walker.
Well, I mean, the
dad-
thing is the funny thing is that he still, got with her mother, right? Very interesting. Welcome, Mystic Moon. Here we go.
Daddy in the walker.
Was cool. That was just like her little friend.
Mm-hmm. So, sweetheart, you ain't gonna have to get an abortion.
No, I'm not.
Chris won't be here to see that baby. Because he either gonna be in prison
I'm telling you.
or up under it. Because what I'm about to do to him,
That was cool. I thought I'd start a little comedy and the intro and everything like that. Um, a short side note. It's very interesting how the YouTube streets get sometimes where you get people who literally cannot tell the truth. They lie through their teeth all day, every day about just about everything. Even if it gets them into trouble, they get in, they then they try to talk themselves out of the trouble, then they get in deeper trouble. Then all of a sudden they lie some more trying to get out of trouble, then they get into that deeper trouble. They blame everybody else except for themselves for their, whatever kind of drama, they drum up, right? Two things. One, it's okay to enjoy the show on YouTube. But remember that a lot of these channel holders don't tell the truth. They will tell you story after story, lie after lie, not caring who it hurts. They will do whatever it takes to either shame Black women or hurt Black. And then when somehow and some karma, then they want to blame it on somebody else when they know damn well it was all on them. And this is an important intro because we will be looking into men today who think just like that. We actually go through a lot of men like this. We actually do that a lot on the show because we want you to know how these types of train wrecks behave. And it's important for you to know that if you should try one question when you hear somebody disparaging somebody else, ask for proof. Not that circumstantial shit, not that I heard it through the grapevine shit. Ask for the real deal. Okay? I'm going to break it down even further when we go further into these clips. Let me go ahead and go to the next one. It's important you check it out. Anyway, of the matter. Here we go.
One thing I want women to learn: if a man make you look like a fool in public, don't get your lick back in private. Nah, get down and dirty like he did. You dealing with a junkyard dog, you'll be Clipper, the big red dog. Scooby Doo, 2024, we woke me old. I bet you we'll stop making y'all look like a fool. Oh, you about to go for Keisha? I'm about to go for Carl. See you tomorrow. We'll stop there because there ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. And what we know is women don't lay down. They lay up. Upgrade.
All right, all right. Key Brown in the house. Mystic Moon in the house. Bella Nowhere in the house. Conscious Mind Love in the house. We're going to keep it going.
Yo, so I went to go buy flowers for my little sneaky link.
Yeah, listen to this. This one's funny. This one's crack up. Here we go.
Lady gonna say it must be a very special lady. Now we in 2023. We dating dudes now. We dating each other. We tired of your shit. The way she looked at me, but I told her the truth.
No, nah, fam. You gay.
Yeah, this is the funny thing is that the funny thing is this is that men are getting. I mean, the thing is this: a lot of men out there in our community happen to be. It's not even about them being gay. It's just they're so either damaged or obsessed with sex that they'll do anything that moves. They'll do anything that moves. And that's the point I've been trying to make for a long time that you got to be careful of because I would say it's probably I don't know, at least 50% of our male population in our community. Legs for life in the house. Good to see legs for life in the house. I'm telling you. I'm telling you from what I'm saying. I, the thing is this is that all men have to do, all we have to do, fellas, is repair our damage. Repair our damage. But instead, I think a lot of men initially instead, namely women, than anybody else will do because the stats say so. Um, and there you go. That's basically the community in a nutshell. So I just wanted to kick that one out there because yeah, there are a lot of men that they get to the point where they will make decisions to make them feel better about themselves, even if it has to do with other people. One more clip. Here we go.
In shocking video, former NFL quarterback Cam Newton appears to get jumped at a football game in Atlanta, Georgia. Per The Athletic, the event was organized by
Oh man. I'm not the biggest fan of Cam because, he kind of leaves, women with 4 and 5 kids. But this just shows you the nature that we have that we need to repair. This is part of that thing I say we need to repair. Whether it's happening on YouTube or it's happening in real life in a physical form, it's barbaric. There was nothing Cam did that should have started this brawl. And these men knowing that they are on screen had no problem further damaging whatever little bit is left of the black male image. Not one bit. So it's funny that me just making these statements and letting everybody know this ain't right, that certain unstable men see that as it being bashing these men. When in reality, I'm just pointing out it's raining outside when and when it's raining outside. The question you have to ask yourself is how are you going to clean this up? What are you going to do? Instead of maybe harassing people, attacking women, damaging women, solution and not that is something that needs to be if you keep on, well, keep watching the video because you're going to find out where it might lead to. Let me keep playing this for a minute. Here we go.
E-Ball Sport, an apparel and sports media company that brought U15 and U18 teams in Georgia and Alabama together for a tourney. Newton is the founder of C1N, a program that participated. The scenes are pathetic, but sadly an indictment of youth sports. And here's the thing. Individuals involved with top shelf performance via The Athletic once more, a wide receiver training facility in Atlanta that had youth teams.
Let me pause right there in the house. Thank you, A Lady, for the super sticker. in that house. I appreciate it so much. A lady is an amazing person. Let's dig deep into this. Let's keep going with this. Here we go.
Teams in the event approached Cam at the top of a set of steps. Cam was grabbed and a fight ensued. Two men shown fighting with the former MVP were both coaches for Top Shelf and formerly coached with.
How does that work? Leaders, or let me rephrase that. How do so-called leaders, because leaders don't do this shit. The key to being a leader is to resolve things in a peaceful manner for the benefit of all. Or let's say most, because you can't make everybody happy. You ain't doing it here. That ain't going down. Let's keep it going.
With Cam, according to a source with knowledge. And per Nehemiah Mitchell, the co-founder of Weeball Sports, everyone involved in the scuffle was removed. Police and security would have to step in as well. Cam, who boasts an audience of over 1 million subs on YouTube and a Twitter following of over 1 million, has yet to comment on the melee. The Top Shelf coaches, however, would.
I just want to know, like, what transpired, like, what can make anyone, like, so angry?
And foremost, like, what I want to do.
Right. Wait. See, they cut off the most important part. What is it that anyone can make someone so angry? Okay. See, these men are not. They don't want to be men, because the first thing you do when you get angry is, first of all, you control your temper. Okay. You show a level of maturity and professionalism, especially when you're in a role of leadership, which technically, and I say technically, I repeat, technically, these men were in. Okay. Right now, this is the funny thing. This is why our men in our community are failing, is because we don't do what other communities fail. Right now, if that after that scuffle, all men involved are usually saying, okay, look, we lost our temper. Let's clean this up together so we don't all look bad. But guess what happens? Here we go.
Apologize to everybody that was out there, and
Okay.
to the parents of not just our team, but
Mhm.
everybody
that was affected by
like
it.
Yeah.
that should have never happened. Like, we
Mhm.
should have been able to sit down and talk. Like, there's no reason we should be yelling at each other while a game going on.
Right. That's the key is the actions speak louder than words. So let me keep it going. Here we go.
Like, ain't none of that necessary. So Cam has an organization.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just one team. He has an organization. So it's just been a lot of trash.
Mr. Newbie in the house. Welcome, Mistress Newbie. It's good seeing you. Here we go.
Let's talk, from, hit more so his side, just out of nowhere, just talking crazy to us for no reason. It's like,
Okay, this is where he actually started off pretty good, but now it's gone south, because when you get into the blame game, it's not going to work, because basically the thing is this. He's going to look bad. You're going to look bad all regardless, because you were swinging on an MVP. Okay. Literally the one guy who held the Carolina Panthers together in his years there. Okay. So it's really funny that he's going to try to think he can seem more respectable than Cam. It doesn't matter if Cam was talking smack. See, this is a problem in our community. Listen closely. This is a problem in our community. Listen closely.
and more so his side. Like, I've been around.
If that's his excuse, if that's his excuse for allowing this program go off the rails, then he's a failure. He's a failure. Welcome, Enlightened Fam in the house. Here we go.
I'm broke for 5 years. So,
Mhm.
like, this typical Cam Newton behavior.
But Steph, you was right there.
Yeah, so
Wow.
they
You
talk.
Well, if it's typical Cam Newton behavior, then why did you invite him back? If you really feel that he's a hindrance, why did you invite him back? Why didn't you just, if it's his thing, then it's his thing. Why did you invite him back? The question is this guy, is he using that excuse to start a fist fight, to start violence? That's very.
You're
talking
listening to
and
those things. So
he-
Okay, number one. This is Cam is a gay him. Okay. The second thing is this. Welcome M. Mills in the house. The second thing is this. This is a shitty excuse. And from what I saw on the tape, I didn't see anything. Ridiculous. They should have just let it wait. Is made peace. This is what we do wrong all the time as men. We always want to try to look like it was somebody else's fault. Irresponsible men behave in irresponsible ways. This is irresponsible what they're doing right now. They are not at the level, not even close to the level of Cam Newton. Okay? I understand he might have grabbed Steph or something like that. From what he's saying, I haven't seen it. But for the most part, man, coaches, right or wrong, coaches grab players all the time. What kind of grab was this? Was he choking them? Or did he just grab him by the shirt or something? If that's what happened. If that's what happened. Indiana, mom in the house. Feisty Black Tina in the house. How is a man supposed to expect a woman to trust him? With trust, you get that bullshit submission thing when you can't even control your freaking temper. How are you supposed to get a positive result if you're just acting negative yourself? Now, I know you think you're getting a positive result until the very hard way. A very hard way. Term from Kumo D, he's rapper. Karma looks you in the face and says,
Take.
On another note, I saw that footage of Cam Newton. You got to give that boy props. That hat ain't never came off. That hat ain't never came off. All that stand 10 toes down. Nah, that hat got bobby pins.
Chad Ochocinco and Shannon Sharp would speak on it as well via Nightcap.
Listen, young fellas, parents need to understand when you have
You have to let this sink in. You have to understand how messed up this is. You need to make sure that you stay away from men that have this kind of volatile behavior. Let me
Someone like Cam, you were supposed to be taking advantage of these situations. Many of times I have seen clips, not just forget this fight here. Many of times I've seen players, I've seen coaches, and I've seen parents disrespect Cam Newton at these camps.
Cam is a better man than me. Because the first time the kids disrespected me, I ain't coming back.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
and quite honestly, what Shannon just said should apply for women as well. If a dude disrespects you, ghost. Don't take disrespect.
The comeback.
That's my point. That's why I say he's a better man than me.
He can
Cam came back. Women come back to their men. Look, it just doesn't work out. Disrespect, maybe, I don't know. You might at least have a disrespect meter. Give one chance, maybe. I don't know. But you have to remember now, for somebody to disrespect you, like blatantly disrespect you, cuss you out, that kind of stuff, that there were several levels of toxicity before we even got there. The disrespect is just, now it only can get worse. And you saw what happened. It got to the point where they were literally beating that MVP down. If he wasn't still in shape, they would have mugged him. And you don't think those men wouldn't have done that to a woman? Or and yet, selection is so important. See, selection for a man, if he selects the wrong woman, he might just get his feelings hurt. If a woman selects the wrong man, oh man, you might be on our Sunday show. You might get mentally and physically beat down. That's why you definitely got it. Definitely take your time. It's just needed. There's, for some reason, a lot of younger men in our community, just their just stability is not there. Don't try to be their therapist, because you cannot help them. They will only work it out for themselves. Now you can help her of help, but don't try to be their help, because it won't work. You will end up on the wrong side of some rage. Let's put it that way. The wrong side. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen with not only significant others. I've seen it happen with family members. Let me keep it going here. We're getting some stuff done here. I gotta pass up on Orlando Brown tonight, for a second at least. Look. Okay, Charleston White is at it again. He wants some attention. I'm gonna give him a little bit. Okay, I bet Charleston. Here we go. I bet Charleston. Okay, you got me. This is from Say Cheese. New Diamond in the house. M Mills is in the house. Enlightened Femme in the house. A Lady in the house. Indiana Mom in the house. Let me pause right there. In the house, we have Legs for Life in the house. Sometimes I make a mistake, call her Legs for Days in the house. Probably still applies. Bella Nowhere in the house. Mystic Moon in the house. Here we go. Wait, let me turn down the volume on this just a little bit. I don't want to blast anybody's speakers out. You know, those Apple iPhone speakers can get kind of sensitive. Here we go.
Boosie recently said that he doesn't see rappers with their kids. I seen you commented on that.
Yeah.
Boosie was like, damn,
Wait.
I see these rappers all the time and never see them with their kids.
Wait, hold on one second. Hold on.
Agree to that.
Not just the rap.
Charles said, why does my dude? Yeah, you know, it's the reason why I play him. I've been playing him more often is because he be saying stuff that other people think I say about them. You know, and it's funny because they don't mind if he says it, but if I say it, they get mad at me. But let me play this one more time. Now, the funny thing is he mentions Boosie. And if you know anything about Boosie, right? Boosie is the same Boosie who bought pros for his 12-year-old boys. You heard me right. And I don't mean professional football or anything like that. I mean what passport bros go to other countries. Let's let that lady.
Yeah. Boosie was like, damn, I see these rappers all the time and never see them with their kids. And you agreed to that.
Not just the rappers. If we be real, homie, our homeboys. We see.
There it is. Yeah. So is y'all bashing Charleston's channel? I'm just asking for a friend. Because you know about a lot of the same things, you know. He spent one too many minute over there. He spent one too many minute over there on the Queenmaker show because he's speaking facts now. He's learning a little bit. Let's see what else he's gonna say.
Our homeboys all the time, and they ain't never with their kids. We see OG, so and so. He got 7 kids. He in the house with his stepkids. He done got out of prison. He in the house with his stepkids. So it ain't just the rappers. It's the street niggas. You don't never see the street niggas taking pictures. You can go for the neck. You can go back 5 years and look at all street niggas, all rappers, and you won't see throughout their post. You can look at their postings every day for a year, and it won't be nothing about no fatherhood. Man, these niggas.
Well, I mean, Charleston White's breaking it down for everybody. Let me highlight some of these great chats. New Diamond says they are incapable of love and sanity and commitment to decency. Bars. A lady says they bash your channel because you have positive intention from women. Thank you, a lady. Let's keep going here. Bars, right? Once again. They would anything positive, a lot of people bash. They bash. Oh, here's a perfect example. A lot of people bash Russell Wilson because he keeps it positive. He never throws any hardcore negative shade. That's why toxic 10 baby mama having Future, okay, keeps trolling him. And the men love Future. They like Future more than they like that these dudes done on themselves. Okay? 10 baby mama having Future. Here as just a reason to harass Russell and Ciara. That's all he's doing. He doesn't care about Future Jr. He's got 9 more kids. He's got 9 more kids. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more kids before he even gets a few. Now he should be like, look, instead of harassing, okay, instead of harassing Russell, he should be. Future wasn't even paying child support. Don't worry about it. You ain't around anyway. You don't want to pay it. So you don't need it. I got this. And see, that's why. See, the funny thing of what I've learned is this, is that a lot of times men think having control over women is a benchmark to manhood. They do. They think that's the benchmark for manhood, is controlling not only women, but other people, the whole bit. When really, in reality, that has and he really doesn't do that. For child support, he doesn't. You know something? Maybe I should start because I'm not taking care of these people. You'd think he would do that, but they don't. But he doesn't. So let me, since y'all don't want to listen to all who's damn near my age anyway, tell you respect him so much. Here we go.
You don't give a damn about their kids. Niggas don't even care about children, homie. So I feel what he's saying, and I get it. I've been working with the fatherless children for the last 10 years, and just know, homie, the world treats a fatherless child different than they do with a child that has his father present.
Where do you think this starts at? Do you feel like the relationships at home, where sometimes the baby mom won't even let the father see his kids?
Yeah, when you a side ass nigga.
Slip that in.
Yeah, when you a side ass nigga.
I won't even let the father see his kids. Do you feel like the relationships at home, where sometimes the baby mom won't even let the father see his kids?
Yeah, when you a side ass nigga. Just
There's your boy. That's Charleston White. Okay. Manosphere superstar. Let him. I don't want to interrupt him. Let's keep it going.
he like to get high, he like to party, and he all about my niggas. He may buy a few Pampers. So out the gate, he has no job. He has no way of providing any medical insurance or any health care for the mother of the child. What is she to do? Now she has to go apply for health care for her and her unborn baby, prenatal looking, the state and the woman looking at the nigga saying, man, we got to put some insurance on this baby, nigga. What the nigga doing at this time? He ain't getting down about that baby. He happy just to have a baby, but he don't give a damn about the baby. He just grabbing his dick, hollering, I'm daddy. State saying, say, nigga, we gotta what if we gotta take care of the baby? The baby gotta have some doctor's appointment. Okay, nigga, mama apply for health care for the baby. Okay, so now the baby get health insurance. Now the state saying, okay, come here, nigga, we want your ass, because now we got to take care of the woman in the
Did it for 10 years. Sandy Red in the house. In the house. Here we go. Okay, Mystic said she didn't hear that part. I think it was that part. Well, okay, wait, that part. Okay, I think we'll keep it. Oh, Quita's in the house. Quita, good seeing you. I had a ball over there. Quita. All right, here we go. I'm gonna keep it going a little bit longer. We got a lot of show to go. Here we go.
child support just yet. She normally still in love with him. They still fucking. She catching him cheating. He might catch her cheating. They still fucking. He have a baby somewhere else. Now she put his ass on child support. She young and immature in her feelings. Done caught her cheating with your best friend. Now you can't see the baby, nigga. You
Okay, so fellas, if you're out there in the clouds, are you gonna go over and start messing around with Charleston White on his page? You gonna start harassing Charleston White for his page? I'm just asking for a friend. Because hey, he's talking a little bit he's talking, a little bit hard. Harder than I do. It's Massa White. That's weird how it sounds. Charleston White, you Massa Charleston. We's love you. So it's okay. It's okay with you. He's okay to say exactly what I've been saying for all this time. But if I say it, you guys want to get my page shut down. Ain't that something? Then you're running around, blaming people, running around, spilling lies here and there, left and right. I mean, confirmable lies. Confirmable lies. A confirmable lie is something that you can say, he said this, but then he said that. Or he said this, but he did that. Okay? He said, she said, he said, she did that when she didn't do that. Marcy D in the house. Good seeing Marcy D. Quita Ward in the house. Sandy Red in the house. Let me stop preaching too much, but I mean, damn. We're going to get to the cults part in a minute. Trust me on that. Here we go.
You packing the seed, right? All the responsibility, nigga, you carry the seed. So you mean to tell me you just go plant your seed?
Here we go. I wonder if Charleston is listening to my shit. I don't know what it is, but I've said this before. This. I say, hey, who's the man? The red pillars reply, I'm the man. So who's in charge? The red pillars reply, I'm in charge. Then I reply, then I say, so if she got pregnant, whose fault is it? Oh, the woman's fault. She should have been protected. Wait a minute. I thought you thought they submitted to you. So if they, it sounds like to me you reap the benefit in your child. You in return blame them, many times cut bait. If you don't know what cut bait is, that's a non-black term, which means leave. And still you blame them. That's amazing. You have to understand that's amazing. You want to be the man without being the man. One more time for the mix. You want to be the man without being the man.
Or the nigga that's planting the seeds in the garden.
Shout out to Eat, Pray, Yoga in the house.
So it start with the man, homie. A nigga laying down with a woman, making sure he ain't shooting his cum off at anybody, homie. Before he find out who she is. Same with a
There you go. There you go. So there you go. Shout out to Miss RV in the house. She says, "What's up, DJ in chat? What's on up in here tonight?" Miss RV. She's a real one. She's a real one. She knows what's up. I'm gonna play a little bit more and then we can move on.
woman, letting this nigga come off in her. So it's an equal responsibility, but man, overall, it's on the man, homie.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Now this is a somber one. You know something? No, I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. Bishop. Okay. You don't know who he is. He goes by the stage name of Nature Boy. Let's go over this right here. Okay, let me fast forward.
So they already know that I'm dropping the T.
Okay, so this is from one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites right here. PD blog, I believe it. Yeah, PD blog. Here we go. Let me fast forward. Okay, here we go.
Here, Forest Man, that many of you may know by his real name, Eligio, or his aliases of Baba G, or Messiah, or Immortal Dot whatever, or Fraudulent Boy in Nature, when he's a whole grown-ass man, you know, Forest Man. That's what I call him, as I find it as it's the most appropriate for this 41-year-old who actually be believing that he's God, and thought that one day the whole world would catch on, and that everyone would bow down to him like he's Jesus while he spewed out devil's work. Well, the 41-year-old was sentenced to life in prison after he was given 5 guilty verdicts for some of his nasty work. And those counts.
Believe it or not, there are a lot of nature, fortunately. Forest, yeah, Queen and Forest, man. There's a lot. I need to discuss reform, and we talk about justice reform. Are we talking? I can understand like if a guy goes to prison for 10 years for smoking weed or something, or he was falsely accused because you know he was falsely accused of beating up a police officer or something like that, or some weird stuff like that, which doesn't really happen a lot. But what do we do with these kind of guys that actually deserve being in there? What do we do? I mean, you don't don't want to. I mean, the thing is this. At first, you're like, damn, Mr. Rogers, some other race of person only got 2 years for that. Why is he getting, all this time or whatever for it? And then you turn around and you look at the damage the guy did to the community before he finally went to jail or prison, like Ernesto or somebody. They've damaged so many lives. So really, y- I mean, really, I understand the crime for what they're getting time for. But that's how I think that's how I think a lot of a lady says this. He's a product of the so-called black conscious community or pro-black community bars. It's kind of like we get mad because remember last time when we played that thing where a guy got beat up and I believe it was on a Sunday show. It was always on the Sunday show, which you got to check out tomorrow. Um, he got beat up and he was like, look what they did to me. They beat me up. And it's like, dude, you just got finished killing two people. What do you expect? Yeah, Quito, you're right. He killed a lot of he deleted a lot of women's. So, and Ipe Oigo said he already had a record. And I guarantee you, they went light on him. It seems like it's the brothers that get the breaks that seem to be doing the most damage in the community. And New Diamond says this. He's not done yet, though. He'll continue a cult in there. Mammy correctional officers. That is true. Wow, he was in prison before. Quita says this. What happens when you let them out? They commit the same crimes again. Exactly. I forgot that famous R word received rate. It's something it's not received, but it's something like that. Rate in our community is but by doing damage to more people. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Moon. I mean, he needs to be in prison for sure, though. But life, it it really depends. Um, that's a good point. That's a good, something we might have to we talk more specific. Life is one, a lesser sentence, let's say 50 years, put a two, and 20 years, put a three. I don't know if he, but see, the thing is this, I think what it is that the, the legal community is trying to send a message that we're not playing. We are not playing. We are not, because see, the thing is this a cult leader? Just think if everybody be. I mean, being in a cult means that you're putting yourself. I mean, you're trusting somebody is trusting you with everything, your whole soul and everything. So if they keep letting these cult people get away with stuff or not getting life, then what happens is that you get a situation where they feel like, "Oh, okay, it wasn't that bad if I destruct, nobody's gonna mind. I'll be out in 5." Then you get a lot of men, you get people damaging hordes or large amounts of people at one time. Sandy Red says this, "I don't like how some men preach that because there are so many women that we have to share as if we don't have other options, bars. Sharing data in happening over here. That ain't happening over here." Oh, got it down. It's knew how to say it at one time, but there it is. Uh, Recidivism, resist, res, that rate. I, but basically, um, it's very high in our community. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
Counts are on count 1 of ape, count 2 of false imprisonment, and on counts 3, 4, and 5 on prohibition of nude or actually explicit electronic transmissions. It was guilty, 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 guilty all across the board.
Guilty verdict on all.
The question I have is this: I know he got warnings before, and as Ipre Yoga said, he had already been to prison. You would think that if you had already been in, you would want to play it safe. You would want to be, on the conservative side of things. And I don't mean politics. What I mean is like just taking it safe, keeping your head down, being on the grind, getting a job so you can. No, he couldn't do that. He couldn't do. He could not do that. The right thing. He could. And unfortunately, there are many men who, at the very least, think just like him. Opportunity, but think just like us.
Charges.
And please don't ask me why they gave him 3 counts of the same thing. I don't know. I don't understand the confusing law, but all I know is he really guilty of all of that and more. Okay, that's like going on trial for like 2 years to get to all of it. I'm just saying.
Could we move on, please?
But to tip the talented and needed by a family they could relate to, etc., to lure weak people into his cult, use them for their money and their bodies, meaning that they needed to have an income to be a part of his cult. For example, like I guess that little thing, I don't know what you call it, like the monthly army pay, or you have to come with all of your life savings, right? And he also
Black Jim Jones, in my opinion, the Black Jim Jones. There's many cults. There's many Black Jim Jones, though, especially in this space where they're mentally broken men damaging other people, ruining other lives without remorse, without any type of feeling. We are talking about animals. And men should be, when instead of allowing them to do this, men should be checking them. I mean, come on, there just ain't enough cops for cops to be checking these types of men. So men have to do it, and men are not willing to do it. It's that simple. Look at that. Look at this photo. Women for his own benefit.
So slept with the majority of them, not caring what they could have had or what he gave them, rather, being that he admittedly was STD ridden, yet still had multiple fake wives who he never.
Whoa. See? He's I wish I could say that.
I believe that were just happy to be with him, just to be the wife of God. I'm not joking. They really thought this. He had them beef for each other. I'm talking literally fight for him, but it was all for his own pleasure. I'm talking because he was mad at the cards that he was dealt in his life and the fact that he was more or less parentless and familyless. He made sure that every one of his followers felt his personal pain by making each and every one of them sever ties with their own families who love them and love to make the mothers leave their kids parentless. Baby, the rabbit hole goes too deep. He literally controlled these people's whole minds in a way that nobody could explain. I guess as cult leaders are able to do, and he was getting away with all of it up until one of the cult and members decided to finally take action as far as testifying their truth against his evil doing.
It's the same pattern. Do you notice the pattern this is with this and Diddy and what's soon? I have a feeling, I'm just making a prediction. I'm predicting Jay-Z and well, we have Chris Brown. The problem is when people see somebody in awe, that's when the problem starts. That's when the cult mentality starts. Let's face it. The R. Kelly situation is an R. Kelly cult. Okay. It's an R. Kelly cult. It's not R. Kelly fans. A fan enjoys the person's music, but then says, well, knows and has the logic to say, wow, what he did was wrong. Damn, he was talented, but damn, he's a monster. A cult member, is like, I'm standing up, defending him. No way. He couldn't have done all that. He's too talented. Too many women liked him. So what if he's a monster and that really doesn't bear into whether a man is a serial rapist or not? Drizzle in the house. I mean, that's the problem. See, it's funny that now we have come up with that. What do we call it now? What do I call it? The monetization. Protect and provide, but we ain't gonna do it for just anybody we don't know, or women that we're getting some from. Remember when that came out? Every other culture, they're like shaking their head, SMHing, because they do. They will protect. Shoot, they'll protect black people. They see somebody beating up at you, and they know that person is wrong. They'll protect you. So let me keep it going.
Doing to help keep him behind bars. Had it not been for that one person taking initiative, they were so mind controlled and in fear of this man that they would have lied for him forever and never spoke up against his wrongdoing. But yeah, so he was sentenced to life in prison so he can no longer do what he was doing to these people, even though, to be honest, he still controls a few of them, even from prison, which is crazy. But they are not in their right minds at all. Now, according to Fox News, he was given life without parole at that.
God, people like this. Maybe an attorney. People. It's this. I understand it seems inhuman, but so are they. I mean, so are they. Control is control. You got it. They have to not be able to do that. I didn't know that they could do all the stuff they do. iPads and everything. Forget that. Shit.
And basically, for those who may not be too familiar with that means, this is a prison sentence given to a convicted defendant in which they will remain in prison for their entire life and will not have the ability to a conditional release before they complete the sentence. So in other words, he's going to be in there forever.
Forever, ever, forever, ever, ever.
Now, to kind of wrap this up, because I know y'all don't got all day, and I just wanted to deliver the justice portion of it for real, let me just tell you, Forrest Man proved to be insane in court, in my opinion. Facts. For example, he was cracking the F up laughing when one of his victims was testifying against him, was crying about how he said that their souls belonged to him and that there was no telling him no, ever.
This is evil, man. I'll tell you, men who think like this, who sound like this, usually they start murking people. I'm telling you. He's not that far. People who lose reality like he did, he wouldn't have any problem doing some really messed up things if he hasn't already. Trizzle says this, waited for your reaction on this, DJ. I'm kind of surprised they actually sentenced him to life with no parole. Yeah. Trizzle, I mean, they don't want that. It's clear that the man or justice system doesn't want men like this in our community. And I can't argue that. How can you argue that? I mean, do you guys really want this guy to get out again? Really? I don't see how he shouldn't be able to communicate with anybody. I mean, that's how I see it. Yeah, he sure did get banned from several places. He was going to different countries doing weird shit. Getting his entourage in trouble. They had some oh man. Let me play some of the let me play back some of I'm going to play let me play back some of the testimony from the young ladies that let me see if I can find it on here. I know I have it somewhere. Yeah, here we go. The sentencing. Listen to the impact statements. I think this will clear up a lot of the question marks. So I'm going to start here. Okay.
I will not
Okay. If you don't know, an impact statement is a statement that witnesses and victims make. I think it's mostly victims make in reference to the impact, the damage that the defendant or the convicted at this point put on them, and they're used to compel the court to not really to compel the court, but to give the court the idea, the weight of the damage this person did and what they need to do next. And it gives the jurors or it gives the judge an idea on the what they should give this person as a sentence. So let's listen to some of these. Here we go.
I will not accept this shit. No, I want my woman back.
By TVK Unbiased. Here we go.
should've listened.
Okay.
On every aspect of our lives, from food to clothes to where we could go or sleep or where if we could take a walk or if we could leave the group, we would need permission. And that we wouldn't be able to go anywhere by ourselves. I never would have joined if I knew that. I would live in fear every day, not knowing who he would hurt that day, who he would order us to hurt, or if I would be hurt that day. All it took was for someone to have what he would call an attitude, or for them to slightly resist him. He often responded to any resistance from the women with whipping them with a leather belt over and over while he laughed and made the rest of us watch.
Wow. Queen Award said he used to be a stripper. I heard he also did PORN also. I heard like, you know, where did I hear that? Did I hear that over at maybe it might have been over Queen's channel. But yeah, he was a porn for yeah, he was a porn artist for men. For men. Yeah. He did. It Trizzle said, yeah, gay porn. He did. Yep.
He would make us lay flat on our stomachs while he walked around in a rage, taunting us, degrading us, kicking us, and stomping on us, beating us into submission. He said we were his property and that he could do anything he wanted to us. No one was coming to save us in these foreign countries. He said no one cared about Black girls like us, not in America or anywhere else. If we told anyone, we would be being disloyal, betraying the Christ, the Messiah. We would be going against God. In fact, we should be grateful that we get to be in his life, he said. No one else loved us like he did.
Doesn't this talk sound familiar to anybody and everybody? I mean, think about it. I hear this from a lot of people everywhere, including on YouTube. They sound just like Talze from the Colts. You are getting ding 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 ding. I know I'm off key, but hey. This epic episode of Talze from the Colts, where you get weirdos who, if given that opportunity, will become more weird. This is Jim Jones all over again. And look at him, though. Look at him.
He said he loved to dominate us and the feeling of being able to hurt us or kill us at any moment. He said that if he killed us, no one would know or care. So,
Did I just tell you earlier, okay, in this live stream that he's capable of deletion? There it is. I told you he was that. I knew it. Let's keep going. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
I pushed myself every day to stay on my best behavior in order to survive because my son needed a mother and I didn't want to hide it. Every day he put the boundaries a little further. There always seems to be another excuse.
A lady breaks it down like this. Young people and adults are extremely susceptible to this stuff. Exactly. And that's why they want them off the streets. Because see, the thing is this, it's not that, let's say the country cares about, all the people that he damaged, but they know it's going to hurt their bottom line. They know that somebody who does this much damage to that many people, somebody's going to have to foot the bill, either by catching up to all of his crimes or paying for all the damage that this man does. That's why. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link just in case somebody wants to come up. Boom. Do that. Here we go. Okay. Here we go.
As to why we needed the abuse that he called discipline. He told us that we were doing it to ourselves, and if we ever questioned him,
I knew it. They love to blame other people for their own actions and what happens because of their own actions, especially when it's detrimental to them. If they get arrested, oh, it was the woman's fault or it was somebody else's fault. It was the man's fault. It was the police's fault. So what if I use, I put a brick upside somebody's head or try to jump and beat up a judge because I was in court because, of this or that. These men come up with these all the time. It's it's the abusers, what should I call it? National anthem.
We were doing it to ourselves, and if we ever question.
Telling people that it was their fault. Telling people that they shouldn't have done this or shouldn't have done that. Blaming people who never even knew that who were never even involved in that in an incident. Not blaming themselves at all. Not saying something like, well, you know something, this probably wouldn't have happened if I didn't do that. They won't even think like that. I'm telling you, it's all about tales from the cult. These mental idiots, all they have to do is do the right thing and they can't even do it. They could not do it. It's just not in their DNA. All they had to do is do the right thing. And they cannot do it.
He made sure that we would never think to do that again, and he made an example out of us. Sometimes he would remind us all of the good times we spent together, all the beautiful places we saw, like the waterfalls in Mexico and the beaches in Puerto Rico, all of the music we made.
That's all manipulation right there. Yeah, he did it all.
And the celebrations and dances we had. He often guilt tripped us, even while he's been in jail. He's tried to intimidate us for years.
Bars, Miss RV, black white supremacist. And I'm glad you brought that up, Miss RV, because let me tell you something. Who is doing the most damage to our community? I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, white supremacists that's white supremacy is terrible. That's horrible. But there's too many of us men stacking on top of that. These women are not being victimized by white supremacists. Most men, it's you and your friends. Look at the stats. Don't believe me. Look at the stats. And look, you want to say that I'm bashing. Go look at the stats. The stats will tell you everything you need to know. You will realize that it's black men bashing black men all day, every day. Literally, literally. Not like in analogy or in thought process or in verbal, but physically. But you don't want to fix that problem, do you? Would rather just blame it all on the woman. It's it's crazy to me. A lady says this. He said he got kicked off a plane because they were black, but the truth was they stunk really bad. And a lady, the thing is this is that he oh we know it's true that they stunk really bad because of the way he forces them to live. Yeah, they were stanky. Yep. They were stanky, polygamists. that stunk and had STDs. Can you imagine? Oh my, I mean, that's like anybody's nasty nightmare. I mean, it's Miss Harvey, man, that's gross. Hey, lady. Hey, she's just dropping facts. Here we go, folks.
He gaslit us into thinking maybe he wasn't that bad. Maybe this wasn't so bad.
You know what this sounds like too? This sounds like just any average, really quite honestly, that 40%, 50%, 40% reported number of domestic violence. This same thing. Same thing.
It took months for me to stop blaming myself for the abuse and the sexual assault. With support from those in my life that truly love me, I was able to finally stop protecting my abuser and speak up about what happened to me and so many other young people. It's a shame even young children were involved as well, and not everyone made it out safely and alive.
If this young lady that you're listening to right now is dropping gems, please give her a one in the chat or an applause in the chat. Give her 100 in the chat, something. She went through a whole lot. She's got a whole lot of therapy ahead of her. Show her some love. Here we go.
I never willingly joined a destructive sex cult, but in the end, I learned that that is exactly what it was. I, like so many others, wanted to make a positive impact in the world, not to be hurt, abused, and used, exploited by a Legio bishop. So many people have prayed for this day where justice is finally being served. And I thank everyone who heard us and who saw us and who fought for our freedom.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't have any other questions. Mr. Becker, do you have any questions? I have no questions. Okay. Thank you so much.
That's the first woman right there. That was deep. That was deep. Let's listen a little. Let's listen a little bit longer. This is 45 minutes, so we're obviously not going to listen to all of them, but we need to let this sink in because this is you are seeing courtroom footage, real uncut footage of the pain that a lot of women go through, not only in cults but in relationships as well. Here we go.
All right. Ms. Marquez, are you driving or are you a passenger? You have to unmute. Oh, sorry. Try it again. There you go. All right. Are you a passenger in a car?
No, I'm just sitting in the car. It's the quietest place for me.
Okay, no worries. As long as you're not driving.
All right, Velvet, if you could raise your right hand.
And okay.
Do you swear or affirm the evidence you'll give to the court today will be the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You can put your hand down if you'll please introduce yourself again.
I'm Velvet Marquez.
You can hear the pain in her voice. Man, it bothers me. Wow. You can hear the pain in her voice. She's going out of her way to do this. She's in a car somewhere. I guess, they're doing one of those remote testimonies. Listen to this.
Velvet, did you want to address the judge as she considers an appropriate sentence for Mr. Bishop?
Sure, yes.
Okay. Please go ahead and tell her what you'd like to tell her.
First of all, I just want to thank you for your time, for your patience, because it was drawn out for a very long time. I'm counting years. And everything that Kendra just said, she put it in a nutshell. And moving forward from it all and trying to heal from it all and knowing that I was targeted from a spiritual standpoint, I've literally had to get myself comforted so that I can understand what the Bible is, who God is, who Jesus is to me. I really had to unravel myself from thinking that an actual person was here as the second coming of Christ. And I know that may sound absurd to a lot of people because a lot of people have spiritual backgrounds, but I was searching for who God meant to me in my life at the time of Jordan. So now that everything is settling and I have 3 children of my own, it's an uphill battle every day because I've literally witnessed Ezekiel Bishop threatening to kill me and my child on multiple occasions.
Jeez. This is why he got life. It's not that he just said it once or twice. You can tell it was his mantra. That's why he got life. Let's keep it going.
He said that my life is over if he had ever saw me again. So every day I wake up, especially
When he said that, he left the court no other choice. When you make threats like that, you leave the courts no other choice. They know if they release this guy, they know he's going to do that. He's going to go in full bandit mode. He's going to go in full bandit mode and do some damage to society and the community. I mean, really, quite honestly, don't get mad at the courts for giving him life. Their hands are tied. They know he means what he's saying because he's already said it to everybody. He's already said it to everybody. What? You mean it's like this? So, sir, you mean to tell me that like if we let you out of jail, you're gonna go ahead and fulfill your promise that you made to these women? What you gonna do to them? Life. You see what I'm saying? They're like, life. We don't that's gonna cost law enforcement, the community, the United States, a couple politicians, their job. Nope. You can say in there, well, we'll go ahead and worry about that reform, that law reform shit later. Because you need, well, we can't afford to let sociopaths like you out. In my opinion, he is. Why? He's a serial deleter in the making. He doesn't need to come out anymore. And that's he did it to himself. There's a point where it's like you have to ask yourself, as a judge, it's like I believe him. When he says he's gonna delete this person, to delete that person, I believe him. So I can't let him out. Not on my watch. The judge is gonna be like, not on my watch. I ain't gonna be the one where they splash all over the screen. When the news comes up when I should have gave him more time or I should have this or that. No. No. No, the judges ain't going for that. I mean, look, I want justice for men who deserve justice. Men who deserve justice. Like I said before, you go out there and you get yourself, put in jail for 10 years for jaywalking or smoking, a cigarette or stepping on somebody's foot, that kind of, stuff like that, or stuff that equals you get where I'm coming from. I'm all for, like, we need to save this person from that unjust, result. But if you're gonna be doing stuff like this, no, no, keep Mr. Bishop keep him in there for a long old time. Ernesto, no, 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 no. He wants to damage women. Think about it like this, people. These men are not damaging other races of women. They're damaging Black women. So before you go march for somebody, you might think about that. You might want to do this. Look at the record, make sure that shit's clean. Then go march. Make sure you know what we know. If because the funny thing is this, 40%. I need you to keep that in your mind. 40% of Black women report abuse. Report it. Out of all the women who report abuse, guess who reports it the least? Black women. Still 40%. So you know that number's got to be around 70%. You know it. Welcome to the stage, a lady.
Hi, GJ. Can you hear me okay?
Perfectly.
Hey, I see you're still out here keeping up the good fight. Thank you.
I'm trying.
I'll just say really quickly, and I can hang out for a minute. I've got company coming, so when I drop off, I'm out of here. So
You gone, right? It's like you'll be in mid sentence, right?
right. I'm
DJ,
out.
blah, 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 click. Gotta go.
I'm out. 'Cause, I've kind of been following Nature Boy since the, shutdown, pandemic times. And they are truly a disturbed, mentally ill group of people. But what I do see with his mindset, and I'm sure you and some of the people who know about him, they see this also, who are in the chat. And hi to everybody in the chat. I've missed you guys as well. It's a similar mindset, and that's what's so disturbing. I mentioned earlier, it's that pro-Black, men up, women down, women are objects kind of mindset. And men have actually been in comments all over YouTube and probably social media saying he got an unfair sentence, and this is not right, and they're trying to hold a Black man down. But it all kinds of reminds me of when Kevin Samuels passed, and they were saying, a woman did it. And, it's just this mindset that men can never be wrong. And that is what's holding our community back. But just globally, not even just Black people. It's this mindset that men have the right to do what they want to do to women, and men have a right to do what they want to do in their homes. And like I said, that pro-Black community, they have this mindset that if a woman comes into their household, they have dominion over her and the children. So that's why you see sometimes a lot of abuse of the children, abuse of the women, abuse of the boys and the girls and others, because they feel they have the right to do it. So it's just a sad thing.
So true. It is so true. And that's funny. And Hazel Bug brings up a good point. She says he had a Canadian white woman. Canada went off and came and got her from him. And that's what we should have done. We should have got all these young ladies. We should have been like, oh hell no, and got them out of there. And that's the problem with our community, is that sometimes we get a little bit too tolerant tolerant
That's
of horrible
true.
things.
We get tolerant. We let people do what they want to do in too many instances. And if you tell on someone, everybody know what that's called. It's called snitching, and that's a problem. And that's why I'm loving 2024 with everybody getting told on, people coming out of the woodwork saying, you did this to me in 1999. I love it. You
Yeah,
know,
me too.
let's go. Let's get them all. Let's get them all off the street. Diddy, Jay-Z, you know, whoever the women are too, because Diddy's girlfriend, they're saying she's, you know, been party to some of this stuff. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to me, it's like there are some online mammies and so on and so forth, but these super mammies that defend these types of guys, like, have you seen that stuff on R. Kelly as well? These, it's like there's a cult of women and men that are out there like, oh no, he's innocent, he should be out of. They're trying to get him out.
Listen, my position on that is controversial because not only that blogger who was supporting Nesto and his girlfriend who's supporting him, but I'm saying, look at Shirley. She had something going on too. Word on the curb is she paid to have his records suppressed or sealed. And I know that there's a law in California that well, I don't want to say law, but you can do that in California. But he had such a long, extensive record. But when he did go to trial, there were a bunch of things in there that nobody knew anything about. And I do believe that was because Shirley was able to suppress some of his record. And so Shirley knew that he had a criminal background. She allowed him to have access to her circle. So we might love these people and respect these people, but they can be mammies and basically, you know, just supporting and unleashing these demons on our community, and they all have to go.
Boom, bars. I mean, there's a lot of work to be done. I can't. There's nothing. I have nothing else to say. It's just it's true. You did facts, straight up facts. Um, mammies, mammies are dangerous because they're usually in a position that they could stop the abuse or at least be a whistleblower, and they don't. And that's, to me, that really actually, when you think about it, that kind of pales in comparison to an online mammy. If you think about it, somebody who could have stopped a crime, somebody who could have, you know. And the thing is this: it's not only hurting when they do that. They're not only hurting just the people that this man or is damaging, but they're not allowing this man to maybe get some help he can get. You see what I'm saying?
That's a
Maybe
great
before,
point.
you know,
Nope.
maybe
Mhm.
before he goes too far, he could be set on the right on the right path. But these days say, "Oh no, it's okay. You can go ahead and go in the room with this little girl, whatever," and then they let it go.
Oh.
I've heard so many stories like that.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. The worst is when these women allow their children to be harmed by these demons. But you're
Right.
absolutely right. They provide shelter, you know, for these people. It's like they just keep coming. You know, here's another controversial one. The woman Risa Tisa with her Legion guy. Okay, she said I had a lot of red flags, but she herself sheltered this individual. And he has a response saying, you know, I was wealthy. I didn't need her. But she thought she was getting something from it. And I think
Mm.
with these mammy people, they are getting something from it, whether it's feeding their narcissism, whether it's protection, or to be able to say, hey, I've got a man, somebody loves me. There's something that they're getting from supporting these evil people. It's a mutual agreement. And so when we look at the situation here, a lot of all of the women who got involved in this thing, they were very young and broken. He knew who to go after, young and broken people who had been rejected by their families. At least one of the women had been prostitute, damaged as children. So he knew what to do. Sometimes these mammies are broken children who grow up to become these people. So
right,
it's kind of hard to say, you're at fault, you mammy. But when you become an adult, the bottom line is you have to take responsibility for your actions.
exactly. Like to welcome to the stage, Mystic Moon.
Hi there. Thanks for having me up. Hiya, ladies. It's
I
good to hear your
missed
voice.
it.
Hi, love. Well, you were really preaching, and I'm loving all of your comments and what you had to say. Um,
Thank
and
you.
of course, you're welcome. I was going to speak to something that you said, Torch, when you were saying earlier that this dynamic in this cult is very similar to the dynamic in the Black community. You didn't say it exactly using those words, but it was something to that effect.
Absolutely.
And it really struck me. I was like, oh my goodness, like that is so true. And it's like we're maybe not in some ways, in some cases, of course, just as extreme, in some cases not as extreme, in some cases worse. But generally speaking, that is a mindset that we have in the Black community. It is a cult. It is, worshiping the man, and the man can do no wrong, and protect him at all costs, despite of how despicable the acts are, and that the woman really just simply doesn't matter that much. Um, so yes, I just wanted to, I didn't have that much to say, but when you said that, I was like, "Ooh, I want to come up to see what else you had to say on that," because I even find myself sometimes too, and this is a part of my healing, which is there are times that brainwashing that we have experienced in the Black community, even me, who has been a person who's been on this journey for so long, sometimes I'm shocked at some of the things that are in my mind that I have to check and heal, because there is a script that's running that says, as a Black woman, you just don't matter that much, and that you should always be under the feet of someone or something. And it comes out in the way that I move through life. Yes, there has been lots of improvements because I've done so much work, but it's still there. It's such an insidious thing. And so, at first, initially, I was like, of course he should be in prison. I was like, but life, I was like, that seems extreme. He didn't murder anybody. And even though there is still some part of me that questions whether that was, life is the right thing or not, what I do know is that he definitely needs to be behind bars at the very least for a very, 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 very long time. Damn near close to life, if not life.
Right.
Once I started hearing more and more about what's going on, right? And then part of me coming to me in my mind thinking like 20 years. I don't know why 20 years just felt like something that was appropriate in my mind. One, I didn't know all the details. And the more I hear the details, I'm like, damn, I see why they gave him life. One. And two, I'll be 100% honest. There are remnants of internalized hatred for Black women that I have inside of my own mind that I don't even know that like you don't know that you have these things until there's some kind of light shown in some corners of your mind because of a situation or a conversation like this. It's like, how passive, like, why wasn't I engaged more in the case? Or why did I seek the details more? You see what I'm saying? Like, what
Mhm.
was that? And that's something I'll have to go on and like sit with myself and sort of sort out. That's not something that everybody can sort out with me. But it just goes to show how insidious it is. And the more I start to hear and the more I hear the victim speak, I'm like, damn, I'm understanding why you got life, because that's what you need, because your reach is powerful and insidious. Like it's one of those his crime to me is one of those crimes that is so insidious that you don't even know how deep it goes. So the best thing to do
Right.
is just to put him behind bars and let him stay there.
Right.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
all.
I think I think you make some damn good points. And my thing is this is that I think they know they got an evil entity in front of them. And
Mhm.
even though it seems like technically he doesn't deserve life, it's like, what are they gonna do with him? Because
Yeah.
he already made so many promises to I think he literally at least 10 women, he said that he's going to delete them. So
Mhm.
what do you do with a guy like that? You can't let him out,
Mhm.
you know? Maybe they might, give him a lighter sentence when he gets to be too old to do that kind of damage or something. I don't know what. But the thing is that I believe they are worried that he's going to start convincing other men to do the same thing. And then all of a sudden, it's going to start to look like a virus that just spreads out there, which we
Mhm.
already have right now, as you know.
Yep.
So, but it'll be worse. And I, even though it's, even though the judge might live in a different community or whatever like that, she knows that if that starts to fester like that, it's
Mhm.
going to affect the country either at the very least in a financial way because they're
Mhm.
not going to be able to keep up with it. They won't have enough police for that kind of stuff. They won't. And the thing is that is those kind of cults, they are expensive. Okay, they are very expensive to investigate because they got so
Mm.
many people. It's
Mm.
not, you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they got they have to do it. They have to it takes a lot of resources and it takes a lot of resources over a number of years.
Well,
Yeah,
look
So
at Charles Manson. If you
yeah.
think about Charles Manson, he never murdered anyone, but he ordered people to. This country has a
Mm.
lot of experience with cults and people who have that ability to rule over people. Even the Nazis were a cult. And African Americans, us Black people in this country, we are a subculture, and subcultures have a tendency, because of lack of power, we create our own leaders, and we have a tendency to create cults and create leaders within our group. So it's just a thing.
Mm. That's a good point. Damn, you guys got my mind going tonight. That's a good point.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
yeah,
Wow. Mm. That makes sense. Just the more I hear, the more I'm getting it. I'm getting that, you know, you have to look at the picture, the big picture and the smaller picture, like you were saying, Torch, that it's not just the particular danger that you have right in this particular moment, but all the potential dangers that your reach has. And then he's still
right,
controlling them even now while he's behind bars. So if he's bold enough to keep up with this cult in the middle of a trial, what is he going to do if he gets out, or if he knows that he's going to get out in 20 years, then he can just hold on. You know what I mean? And then that'll keep the group together more, knowing that he's going to get out. Like I'm starting to understand um more the gravity of this. And um you were saying, Torch, about the like the I guess you were alluding to like the femicide right? Not necessarily just, Black women getting murdered, but just the whole all of it, like the whole package, which is
Right.
everything that leads up to that or whatever. It is very similar. There's a lot of similarities to this particular cult, and I'm realizing um I'm actually at a loss for words. I'm gonna zip it for a second because I'm getting a little overwhelmed. Um, I'm getting a
Yeah.
little overwhelmed by that comparison that you just made because it's
Yeah.
so true.
I mean, the scary part about it is that there's such a thin line, there's such a thin veil between I mean, basically what happened was the guy basically had a culture of abuse, and we already have a culture of abuse in the community.
Mm,
So, it's almost like we've normalized it to the point
mm,
where where it's accepted. And I think that's why you get so many of these cults like the R. Kelly cult or um the Ernesto cult where they're like, well, okay, so he assaulted her. So what?
mm,
It's gotten to this point in our community. And part of it has to do with um um I mean, look, think about hip hop. I mean, all it is it's all they're doing is preaching abuse to both men
mhm.
and women, but it's still abuse, both to men and women.
It's the
They
same.
degrade women. Yeah, they degrade women and they want to pew pew men. I mean, it's a point. It. I believe hip hop got out of hand. I believe it was supposed to be a niche genre, which could be a little bit dark at times, right?
Mhm.
And that is that. But it's gotten to a point where it's now controlled our culture.
Mm,
And then you get it. I mean, because think about it. It's like it's gotten to the point where these young men, they know more about these rappers than they do any positive black male influence.
mm.
They probably could not name one clearly positive black male influence, and if they did, if they're gonna name somebody, it'll probably be a rapper.
Yeah.
Agree.
That's where the danger is.
I agree. I think also that there are dark
Think about it.
arts in being used. So I think sex is a weapon and it is being intertwined with spirituality and uh, the dark arts. And when you put all of that together, you can totally control someone. You control their mind and their body and their spirit, their soul. You can make them do anything.
Mm.
So, what you said about Diddy, I believe he is participating in the dark arts. We've heard that some of these people are witches or warlocks or whatever. And, you may or may not believe that stuff, but if they believe it and the people who are with them believe that they have that power, then they have that power. And they think that they can do anything and are unstoppable. And what you called Diddy, like a cult leader?
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj, a cult leader.
Mhm.
All of them. I mean, Beyonce, love her, a cult leader. I mean, really. It is what it is. And I say that because they've got people who are following them who will do whatever they want. Now, I'm not sure if you're could you call them a cult? Is a cult only negative? No, I did see the definition of a cult, and you might know better than I, but there's a very specific definition, and it had someone testified to that in the trial, and it has to do with manipulating people to do things that would be against their own good. And if they do that, if they manipulate you to do things that are against your best, your own goodwill, then that is when they call it a cult.
Yeah, I mean, the only cult I would call positive would be a money-making cult or a love cult or something that has to do with positivity. but that doesn't exist. In fact, that's probably a hyperbole in my in a matter of speaking. So yeah.
Yeah, I think some people might call the Christianity a cult, but like I was mentioning in the chat, there are people who use Christianity and put it into they use Christianity for their own benefit and make it a part of their cult. But I would not call following the teachings of Jesus a cult like, because his teachings were for the benefit. I don't think his teachings were harmful. They were for the benefit of the individual, not the benefit of Jesus himself, more the benefit toward the individual. But that might be it. I'm getting off on a tangent, so I'll step back.
No, I think that was well said. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Torch.
I mean, basically that was perfect. I mean, basically the thing is that what you're saying is a good thing was manipulated into something that other people use, not necessarily, won't say it bad, but for selfish reasons. They're doing it, they're manipulating the belief or the belief in any good thing. It could be God, Allah, whoever, and changing it into something that they can manipulate other people with instead of it being for the original intention. Is that correct?
That sounds right to me. Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because it's always been that way since the beginning of time, since the inception of Christianity or Christ. Um, it's always been manipulated for more than 2,000 years. So this really isn't new, but it still is shocking. I think when you step outside of like the conditioning that we have, because it's like sometimes the conditioning that we have in our mind is so far in the shadows that even when you have the light in your hand and you know that you can use it, um, it's so hidden that you don't even know to shine the light in that direction. So it's so insidious. And something that you said, a lady, that you said a lot of things that was incredible, but you're saying something about the sex and the dark arts. Um, and
Yeah.
somebody else was saying this also too in the chat link. I think it was Q, who was saying that the how does it always end up being about sex? And who was it? Was it Q or RV who said we shouldn't be duped by it because Jesus is not going to come back just to have sex. So it's like sex is like the front and center thing that is being used to manipulate. And what I also find so interesting is, I bet if you told Nature Boy, whenever he was starting his cult, that you're going to be successful at whatever you do with this cult, like we're going to give it to you, but you will 100% not be able to have sex with these people. He wouldn't even have like joined. He wouldn't have started it. So it's like,
I
it
agree.
seems like the motivation with men in many cases to be successful, in music, it's always sex.
Mm-hmm.
To be
That's
successful in sports, it's always sex. It's always the motivation. And I don't think it's okay to be motivated by it in a less like demonic way. But this kind of motivation, it's like that's all that it is. That's what it starts with, and that's what it always ends with. And the most violence against women, it's like so much of it is just sex. It's like, what is this force, and how are we not paying? We're not paying enough attention to what this really is and what this entity really is and how it's being used. Like, we acknowledge when essay happens and things like that and say it's wrong, but like the lady was speaking about the spiritual part of it, we're not really acknowledging the spirituality and this is a demonic force that we have to grapple with that's happening. We're no longer going to be able to just say essay is wrong or just talk about it on the surface. Like we at some point, and it's happening, right? People like a lady, people like Phoenix, who's able to see those energetic beginning places of this. Like we're starting to see it and we can address it, but at some point we're going to have to start looking at it from a spiritual lens and get a handle on it. But I'm sorry I'm all over the place because I'm just kind of blown away. Like I was not expected for my mind to be rattled like it is, but this is deep.
No, your contributions are awesome. I'm glad you
Mm,
came up on the stage.
me too.
Me too.
Mm. And Torch, oh, I'm going to say this one thing. I really appreciate, I know sometimes um I'll just say this. I appreciate your commitment to um pointing this out and not backing down because I think even sometimes for me, like sometimes I think I can because I stay sort of in the spiritual realm so much that sometimes I forget about the practical um ramifications of things that happen, in like a real day, everyday life. And your reminder of that very practical, like, no, this is not okay. This is wrong. I'm going to point it out. I don't care what you say. I appreciate that so much. So I wanted to say that. And I'm going to zip it. And it was so nice chatting with you, lady.
Well, thank you, and let's go ahead and give Torch his flowers, okay? This
Yeah.
is man's work. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm a woman, and I'm a very deep in it. Well, I'm not saying I'm deep. I'm emotional, and this stuff was getting to me. And I mentioned this to Torch too. I can't stay in this realm. I don't even know the players anymore. Someone told me something was going on with what's the clear chick's name, Pearly, things like she got kicked off. I don't know anymore. I really am on just the outskirts of this stuff. So to come back in and see Torch is still carrying the torch, pun intended, I appreciate it. Thank you, Torch.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm
I like.
giving you your flowers for sure. Absolutely. You deserve it.
Well, I appreciate you you ladies giving me my flowers, but I think that the thing that drives me more is just that I don't want to see people, especially women at this point, because men, we have more. I think we have, though men shouldn't be abused either, but we have more control over that than women do. And it seems like right now, I mean, the manosphere cult to me is a huge problem. It's just a huge problem to me.
Mm.
I think they're attacking. I think they're turning men into. Believe it or not, this sounds weird, but I think they're turning men into missiles. You know,
Mm-mm.
um, and they're aiming them at black women, and I think the numbers bear that out. It's. I think. I don't know where as men we're going to what we're going to do to try to fix it, but the problem is that we have to realize that it's not because of women. A lot of these men, they continue their default blame is pointed at women. I've seen this firsthand. And it's like, wait a minute. That's the person who helped you the most.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're the person who helped you the most out of everybody in the world, why are you giving that person the grief?
Mm.
Why do they get your wrath? You know? And I hope one day I can figure it out.
Well, I will say I was meditating on the idea of the divine father and the divine mother because I was working through like what do we tend to like whenever we're working on something like when do we look to the divine mother and when do we look to the divine father, that sort of thing.
Mm,
And it brought me to this commercial about I think it was like maybe a Nature Valley commercial. It was either about food or about laundry detergent, I don't remember. But it was the commercial had the guy who was with Mother Nature and they had kids. And so where they were, he was speaking to the kids or whatever about their mother, but the mother was Mother Nature. It's just interesting. It was a cute commercial, but it reminded me, just like hearing you speak and sort of you being very adamant about what is right and doing what is right um, by women specifically, because it's like you're not vague. You don't just say people. You don't just say Black people. Like you're very specific to Black women, and one, I appreciate that in general, but you kind of represent that archetype of the divine father, which is, yes, the mother nature may be more powerful in the sense of like it's everything around you, but there's a reason why the divine father is here, has a very specific role. Both have a very specific role, and you're leaning into that archetype of the divine father, which is making sure that you're not doing anything to get in the way of the self-actualization of the mother, of the woman, of the feminine. You're making sure um you're cleaning the shit up, you're cleaning the energy up, you're calling things out, and you're very much in the practical realms. And I think sometimes I don't lose respect for people who work in more of the practical spaces, but I think sometimes I forget because my work is in another place. But I have to remind myself, like in this call, like I'm just reminding myself, like people who work in the practical arena, they're crucial because how can I focus on the non-physical if nobody's holding down the fort in the physical? I'll be too focused on the physical. So because you do the type of work that you do, I'm able to do the type of work that I can do. A lady can do the type of work that she can do. Phoenix Soul can do the type of work that she can do to sort of help fix this thing. And we all have assignments, and they don't all look the same on the surface, but it's all um, we all have this one purpose. So I don't know, it's just I'm really moved tonight. I was not expecting Nature Boy it to start with Nature Boy and then to end here, but I don't know, I just appreciate the type of things that a lady like you say things and you're just like living your life and just doing your work, but it's like just you existing in that space means that you bring a particular thing to the table, which means that you're shining the light on the shadows of our consciousness. Same thing with you, Torch, like you're shining the light, like you're trying to keep the physical clear so that we can do this work in the shadows. It's just really beautiful. And I feel really grateful. And
Oh,
I'm
that's
going to step
beautiful.
down, but I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. I second your comments as well, especially for Torch. But Torch, I do have a question to ask of you, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
I know you've heard this criticism, and I want to hear your feedback. People say that you are pandering, that you are keeping women in an emotionally kind of upset state of anger. And I really want to hear how you respond to that type of criticism.
Well, it's very interesting that a lot of the sources that this comes from is probably from no, that's not probably. It comes from a more toxic environment. If you were to listen to what they say and who they support and what they are about and the threats they make to women, more and more actually, you would see that, you know, I'm not pandering. I'm more trying to defend women against their own evil. These people who say I'm pandering, they are the ones that I'm defending these women against. And of course, they're just mad because I am not going to allow them to continue to do this. Sooner or later, it might take a year, it might take a 2 year. They they are going to have to pay the bill. It may be by karma, it may be by laws, it might be by policies, but they but the thing is this is that when they will say I am pandering because I have drawn a line in the sand and chosen to defend women, okay, with with kind of I mean for because I feel it's the right thing to do. Let's put it that way. They don't have any morals. So these people who say I'm pandering, they don't have any morals. So of course I'm pandering because it was what they would do. They would want to say, "Oh yeah, they're pandering to make money. Oh, he's pandering this or he's pandering for that." I've heard a million reasons, but and like they know me, but they don't. But mainly the thing is this is that they don't have any. Their soul is so broken. I mean, much like believe it or not, a lot of the people who say that are the same people who probably would support or would want to be Nature Boy. That's how
Wow.
bad. So they're like, this, what is this? This guy must have what's in it for this guy? He must be wanting to do something for himself and not for others because if if that's why I call him a panderer because I can't see why I don't have the soul to see this person just wanting to do something good for somebody else.
That's it. That's it. They are so broken. They cannot believe someone could be doing something just for the freaking good of it. Yeah. I thank you for saying that because I feel the same way. I feel like there is an evil, evil spirit that is surrounding our earth. And unfortunately, it seems like our Black men are accepting the spirit more so than others. Now, we know that the spirit exists everywhere. We know that, child pornography and SA is pretty much running the world, and we know who runs the world, so it exists everywhere. But in our subculture, we see this demonic spirit materializing in our men, and they seem to celebrate it. And
Yes, exactly.
that's the problem. And I'm glad you're calling it out, and I support you on that.
Thank you so much. Oops. Oh yeah, Mystic Moon says, "Oh wait, that's for link was just for." I would like to, if it's possible, if it's okay, if people would like to check out your you know, your Discord, by all means, because y'all are dropping gems up here. A lady is dropping gems up here. Mystic Moon, Mistress Newbie. I mean, everybody in here. Um, and I mean, everybody. I appreciate everyone being here. I think this is a perfect time to. Oh, and I cannot forget about Phoenix Soul. I'm not sure where she is tonight, but oh man, she is a wonderful person too. We got to give her flowers. That's what we got to do. So, everybody, I appreciate you being here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the beat. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, remember there's a comment section after this. I'm gonna cut it short so the replay gang understands. It doesn't have to read through hours and hours. Thank you so much, everybody. Here we go.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. It's not hard to fool me, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah, lead the way, I follow, no need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow, tell you good night. 'Cause I'll find no better one. Yeah. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. Ooh. So tell you good night. 'Cause I'll find a better one. Ooh. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. It's not a problem.
All right. Shout out to New Diamond, Indiana Mom, Miss RV, Mystic Moon, Hey Lady,
'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize.
Indy, Indiana Mom, Miss Deetra,
I follow, no need to say
Rita Ward,
where we are heading now, babe.
Sandy Red,
I follow to the edge of it all.
Marcy
So
D,
tell you good night.
Hazelbug,
'Cause I'll find a better one.
Eat, Pray, Yoga,
Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. Before it flies. So tell you good night. 'Cause I'll find a better one.
Conscious Mind Love,
Susceptible now. Before the moment flies.
All right, everybody. Catch you on the next one.